Decided to cancel the workshop, y'all. I keep on getting like little warnings and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow the warnings. Okay, my energy is being copied. I got a download that this specific reader is copying my energy, and I went to go look, and they are. I'm so tired of picking up on destiny thieves and people that's trying to take other people's life path and copy. I'm tired of picking up on that energy, y'all. So I don't even want to do no events. I'm just going to go ahead and sell my stuff. Because every time I go to say I'm doing something or do a process, people up on this platform start copying it. Y'all, it's just wild. Okay? Y'all know, I was talking about the power of one. I've been talking to y'all about how I don't do a whole bunch of different resources no more. Like, I stretch, I will stretch one resource. I was saying that, right? Why the heck is the people that always copy me, they doing the same? They even talking at the same speed I talk. They talking with the same mellow. Y'all, I'm telling you, these people be no joke with trying to take people's destiny. This one dude, he keep doing it. I ain't even gonna say his name to give him no views, but there's people who've been emailing me. They know who he is. Every time I switch up, he switch up. If I say I'm teaching law of attraction, he said he teaching law of attraction. When I started teaching y'all with a book, he started sitting with the same kind of journal, y'all. When I started doing live natal chart teaching on his channel, telling y'all, he put a natal chart behind him and started doing it. Y'all, this dude is doing everything I do. He literally does readings on me and he figures out what I'm doing and then he just goes and do it, or he watches me on his channel. It's just so crazy that this dude is determined to copy my energy. He thinks because he is a Leo sun and I'm a Leo sun that if he just copy me, he'll get the same. But he doesn't understand it has nothing to do with your sun sign. Your sun sign is only a small piece of the pie. But people keep on thinking that they can just copy other people's sun and they'll get the same thing. And then they just keep getting the same. And they can't understand why they have to work so hard. It's just wild, y'all. I'll give y'all an example. Let's say somebody is a Leo sun and they got a Scorpio moon. And they're trying to copy somebody with a Capricorn moon and Leo sun. That's not going to work out. They're going to suffer because they're going to be in a Scorpio moon energy and somebody else is in a Sagittarius moon. Okay? So even if they do copy that person, they're not going to get the emotional fulfillment. And even if they did try to get emotional fulfillment like a Sagittarius moon would get, it still won't. It'll feel like, to them it will feel still unfulfillment. Even if they did what that person is doing in their moon energy, it would not be lasting to them. They will still end up closing their eyes at night feeling unfulfilled. They would just cycle back to the feeling of unfulfillment. Plus, they would not get the forward movement. They would be inching their way forward. They might get a little ahead, but they won't get all the way ahead like the person who's authentically in that energy. But people will never learn. See, natal charts are so personalized and so customized by God, right down to the very second of your birth, that it's just costly to your energy to even try to copy other people. You will pay it energetically or health wise. You always do. I'm listening to some of the people who's been copying my energy, and they sound so washed out. They sound like they're trying to, manage their energy, like their energy is just too drained. And it's because they were chasing my energy and they don't have my placements. So if they're imitating me, imitating my character or my personality, stepping into placements in my chart and it's not theirs, they're going to pay it energetically. So they start to suffer energetically and they can't understand, like, why am I feeling burnout? Well, because you tried to imitate my destiny energy. In order for somebody to even to imitate you without paying it energetically, they would literally have to have all your placements, right down to the time of your birth. And it's very hard to find. I only found one person who was born in the same hospital, same day, but they wasn't born at the same time as me. So they had actually a different rising and all that. I found one dude. So he was doing something different, and it was his destiny. It was different than mine because he had a different rising sign. And he had a different think a different moon. Okay? He had a different rising sign, different moon. So he was heavily into fitness because he must have had a fire rising. He might have had an earth rising and a fire rising because of the time that he was born. Okay? Or his destiny and fortune was different. His destiny and fortune might have been like fire. So that's why he was like so much into his fire energy. He was getting a lot of success being in a bodybuilding. But my rising is not fire. So I was not going to be no bodybuilder. Even though he was born on the same day in the same hospital, our time was different. So a couple of our placements were different. So of course I wasn't pursuing the same thing as he. But these people don't realize that when they're copying your energy or when someone's copying my energy, there is work that they're supposed to be doing that they're not doing. So let's say if I copy somebody's energy who was supposed to be in like strong hermit energy right now because of their water energy maybe being in a certain placement, maybe retrograde, so they're supposed to be like mindful of their water energy. And let's say I try to copy them and I'm like doing all hermit stuff. Yet the creator want me, according to my chart, to be in powered up. I'm not going to get the health benefits that I would have got had I been in fire energy and not be imitating somebody's hermit energy. Do you understand what I'm saying, y'all? So let's say that my moon in my placement is telling me I'm supposed to be on forward movement. I'm supposed to be moving, okay? But somebody else is like, stay in the house, chill, do housework. That's their moon energy, right? That's how they're aligned, okay? So I'm gonna give y'all a little example. Let's say somebody is a Leo moon and it is currently a Pisces moon. That person may be more active in the home, real active in the home, okay? They might be charged up. But let's say that I have a Scorpio moon and it's a Pisces moon. I might be like, I'm trying to go off on my own. That's wolf energy. I might be like, I'm trying to go off. I'm trying to take a leap by myself. That would be wolf and Pisces, going off by myself to have some fun. Like a lobster is normally solo, a lot of solo energy. A lobster can be solo even if they're in a room, because that's intense, mysterious energy. Like Wednesday, like the series Wednesday. from Adam's family, she would have been more like Scorpio energy. But if I was imitating somebody with Leo Pisces moon energy, I would be not getting the Scorpio moon benefits being a Scorpio moon. I'm just giving an example, y'all. I'm not saying that's my moon, but I'm just saying. So I would be acting all charged up with family when really I should be out on my own doing some fun stuff, rolling by myself. I should be like being intense and mysterious and private off on my own. But I'm not because I'm imitating someone who with a Leo Pisces moon. So I'm just giving y'all an example. Um, so people don't realize that. Yeah, exactly. See, you have to look at all your placements and also your destiny. Okay, so how your destiny is running into your moon and your career. You have to look at that. So this is why it's never good to imitate somebody else. So for example, if I imitated my daughter, okay, I told y'all my daughter has a lot of water. Okay, that's why she's like so sociable, entourages, lot. She's very entouragey, very big community energy, but she has a lot of water in her chart. I think she has like a Cancer moon and a Cancer career. Plus, she's a Pisces on top of it. I'm like, woo, child. But if I was imitating her right now, where she probably is dealing with a lot of socials, a lot of talking going on in her life right now, with all that water flowing from water to water, she's probably like doing, dealing with people with a lot, people probably talking their head off around her at work. It's probably real. She's probably really much into her social energy, being as though it was Pisces moon. And she's a Pisces and then she's a Cancer on both ends, up and down. So basically, it's a lot of, she's probably feeling very emotional right now and probably trying to internalize it, trying to be like, I don't know what to do with all these emotional feelings. She's probably trying to push through using her Aries Venus because she has an Aries Venus, I think. So or Leo. She has a Leo or Aries Venus. I think it's a I think it's a Leo. But if she has a a Aries Venus, she's probably trying to like fight her way through. She's probably like, nah, trying to stand her ground, stand up to the drama, whatever. While sitting at home, like internalizing what she went through and everybody's emotions. She's feeling a lot of emotions right now. Um, I bet you any money if I call her, she's gonna be like, "Mom, I feel real drained." That's how she's gonna say. I don't feel drained because I don't have moon in first. I don't have so much water, so I have a significant fire placement of where it's at. It's like I'm not that sure. I'm not that shook because I have Earth in a significant placement where it's like grounded. Like I'm good. I know how to just be by myself and just shut everybody out and not hear everybody's mouth. I'm good, because of my Earth placement. I'm comfortable, being in my little shelter by myself. I don't feel lonely. Okay, I don't feel like I need company. um, so I'm really not that sure. Um, Now my husband, he's water like my daughter. He's water Cancer moon, Scorpio, and he's trying to get into his destiny energy, but all the water being on the other side of his chart is slowing him down. Okay, it's making him heavy. So I had to motivate him. Um, because he doesn't have enough fire. He doesn't have a fire sun. So he's just kind of like uh He's very internalized with his emotions. He's like, he's walking around like this, y'all. And I'm just sitting up there like, it's okay, I know, it's okay, I know. I'm just, I've been saying that to him since this morning. It's all right. He's like, tired. Ooh. I said, yeah, you feel drained. I said, that's how I felt. That's how I felt 2 weeks ago when all the fire was going buck wild. Okay. When Aries was in retrograde, I was like, ooh, child. I felt the way he's feeling now. So I had to help him. I had to like comfort him. He didn't even have enough energy to wash up, y'all. The emotional, the healing energy is so needed. So he's being drained. He's feeding a lot. He's nursing. His energy is nursing people a lot. So he didn't even have enough energy for self-care. So he has to push through more than I do with self-care. He could barely like work out, walk and all that. I'm walking, dancing, everything. I'm walking around blocks. But yeah, so by him, I think he's a Leo North or he's a Leo. I think he might be a Leo North or Leo Fortune. So he doesn't realize that to move his body will actually help him with that release. Like exercise will actually help it happen better. Will get him into energy. So what I had to do with him is I had to tell him to avoid a high fat diet because he has too much water in his chart. He's just going to get more tired. So I told him if he had fat in the morning, he needs to have no fat for dinner. So he's gonna have like a chicken salad, okay, to protect his energy, What I mean by that, I mean like so he don't get tired since chicken is low fat. Okay. So this is why it's important not to imitate people because you will just pay the price, you know? Like for me, I'm supposed to be prioritizing grooming myself. I'm not really supposed to be letting anybody, get me upset, the emotional dumping on me and stuff. Right now, my family's like this. Ooh, please. I said, I'm cool. I'm cool by myself. I'm just cool. I'm just going to be alone. They like, no, please, God, don't. That's what they said because they like, I need your energy. I need some fire in me. So I said, okay, I'm going to come with some fire energy to help you out a little bit. But, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's not good to imitate. He doesn't realize that he could have got ahead of all that drainage had he had jumped into his destiny energy early this morning. I tried to tell him that just because he's trying to cheat in his destiny, he's trying to cheat himself and thinking it's going to work out. He was walking around the house. Okay, y'all. I told him walking around the house doesn't count in your destiny energy. Your destiny energy actually requires you to be outdoors. It's a challenge. Because you have so much water in your chart, the creator is challenging you with your destiny energy. And he won't go outside though. He won't go outside. I said, long as you don't go outside, you're going to keep staying drained. I told him that. And he still ain't listening to me. But he going to learn the hard way. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Tomorrow, he's going to run outside, y'all. He's going to be like, woo, I'm out of here. Because he's going to realize that internalizing his emotions indoors, that's just making it worse. That's just making it worse. For me, I had to be less, how can I say, less serious. Because the Pisces moon is challenging for me. It's challenging with me with how I use my emotions for myself. Okay. How I celebrate my personality. It's challenging for me to share myself emotionally. The Pisces moon for me is teaching me how to share myself emotionally. Um, I'm cool. Everybody can be emotionally dramatic and toxic around me all they want. It really don't bother me because of my moon. It's like I'm good. I know how to deal with that, you know. But for me, it's about sharing my emotions, not uh being so guarded. Okay, not necessarily introspection, but but seeing that there is emotions have benefits to being able to not be so serious. You know, Pisces is like fun and games and stuff. So my challenge is to let down my hair, explore my wild side, have some fun. That's a challenge for me. With the way my placements go, especially with my rising sign, it's like, oh, I could be like somebody's old grandma. A little bit too serious with my rising sign and some of my other placements. So the Pisces moon is trying to get me out of my comfort zone of not being just all about work all the time. For Pisces is teaching me how to learn how to have fun and work. So what I did today is I paid for some events that would make me have fun. So I signed up for some events today that was like creative stuff I never did before, like watercolor, romantic comedy. I signed up for some stuff that's funny and fun. Um, and I participated. It was hard, but I participated. But that's what I'm saying. But these people who are trying to be like me, they don't realize that they're forcing themselves into an energy. Like, so for example, there's some people trying to be like me and they're like, oh, they're trying to be like, um, they're trying to like be able to deep dive into one resource. And I'm like, do you have that number one, a significant placement in your chart? If you don't, you know you're forcing yourself into a certain way of being that's unhealthy for you. So like this dude who keeps imitating me, he's like using one resource now, and he's literally using one deck when that's not normally how he works. He normally uses like 2, 3 decks, which lets me know that he probably has significant water placement. Where he's like very entouragey, you know, in his chart. But he's like trying to narrow it down to one resource now. He keeps trying to step into my energy. So when this week I was telling y'all I use like one, no more than 3 resources at a time. I can explain according to my chart why I do that, but I prefer to use one resource only for a while. He's forcing himself to be in that energy, and I can tell that he's like struggling, and it's like he don't even care. And he's like talking all slower. He's like almost talking at my speed. He's literally, if y'all listen to this dude, you'll be like, yeah, he's actually moving at your same speed. He's imitating your same flow of talking. Even how you pause and teach, like how I say things and then I start teaching. He's doing the same thing. Like y'all. And I told y'all I've been going through the scriptures, using the scripture numbers, journaling using scripture numbers. And now he's like doing all numbers. And it's just like crazy that he just keeps switching. I can't switch without him switching. Y'all can imagine how annoying this is. So I noticed that he's having a hard time pulling my energy because I don't do tarots anymore. I don't know if y'all know this. I don't do tarots. I'm done. I'm good. Only thing I'll do is oracles. I don't mess with them no more. All the tarots that I had, I put into a dark box and sealed away. I'm doing a little inventory of my cabinets downstairs. Any tarots in there, Going right into the dark bin over there. I didn't cover the dark bin, and I'm taking the dark bin out of here. Y'all. I think as far as we should go with them cards is oracles. Because the oracles don't tell your life path. They don't tell the story of your life. They don't even they don't even say your plans. They don't tell people when you're getting money. They don't tell people when you're sad, or when your peace is disturbed and stuff, like any demonic energy in your life. Oracles don't say any of that. Okay, that's the beautiful thing about oracles. Oracles do not tell your business. Okay. I will. I will be donating my tarots. If anybody want them, I'll clean them. I'll sage them. I'll literally have them in sage. That's fine. I really don't really. You're really not supposed to give your tarots away, because that makes people be able to tap into your energy. So I really don't want to give them away. Actually, I'm not going to give them away because I don't want. It's not really safe. Okay. But I can recommend you to a deck. Now, when I say I don't do tarots, I don't do card tarots. Okay? I don't do card tarots. Like those kind. But I don't mind doing electronic tarots. But I only do tarots electronically for myself. But only like once a week. Now, I'm going to tell y'all why electronic tarot card reading is safer. You don't hammer your energy. Okay, you're basing it on intuition. When you press that button to get them tarots, you're going on intuition. When you're doing regular tarots like this, okay, you're pulling on your own energy field. You're pulling on it. You're pulling on it when you're going like that. So this is why it's not energetically healthy for you. I can tell y'all actually what that does. Eventually, it will block the manifestation. I don't know why nobody talks about this. That when you do hammering tarots like that blocks manifestation. See these right here that I'm holding in my hand? These aren't tarots. These are for natal chart. I highly recommend. Now they're not exactly for natal chart, but they're kind of for natal chart. They're still like oracles. See how you see that? See that? You can tell that's an oracle. See that? See how it's all blue? If it's blue, then the deck is mostly protected, because it's in alignment with the color of the angel dimension. So that's oracle. Okay, you're dealing with galaxy energy, not this energy. You're not dealing with this energy. Okay, this is literally like you're connecting to your family members on the other side, or celestial, high vibrational celestial beings. Whatever your deck look like is what you will connect to. This let that sink in your head. You're going to be ready to throw some of your decks out now. Whatever your deck look like is exactly the energy that is allowed to come through. Interesting, huh? See how my deck has desert energy, like earth energy, grounded with the blue? You see how it's not like gray, black? There ain't no knife wound, ain't nobody getting stabbed or anything like that. Even on the cards, there's no stabs, there's nothing, there's no violence. See, there's no violence at all. None. Even with the two people with the arrows, they're not shooting each other. See? No violence. No violence. So this is a wonderful deck. This deck is the stuff. Okay? I found out in my destiny I'm supposed to be sharing resources. So I highly recommend, if you are a beginner and you want to track your oracle energy, this is the deck to get. See this right here? This is the deck. Okay. I did not know a part of my destiny is I'm supposed to be sharing resources. Like if I share resources, that's how my blessings come through. I didn't know that. Well, this right here, I normally don't share my resources because people like to copy me. But since y'all watching, just give gratitude. Say thank you, Miss V. Send a little donation. If I share resources with y'all, send a little something. I know y'all can send $2 to my Cash App and not just keep on getting resources from me. All right. So karma. Okay. See how this says karma? Amazing, fun to use astrology. See, astrology cards to read your future. Okay. So I'm going to read mine. I'm going to do mine live on this video. And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I ain't gonna lie or whatever. Okay. I love these cards. These cards go everywhere with me. I can't, like, this is how you know these is positive cards. Because I wake up and it's like, where are they? It's like, whoo, I need these cards. I love these cards. They feel pleasant. Like there's like a peaceful energy to these cards. And then every time I think I can't find them, there they go. They just show right up. It's like my angel guides want me to see them. Okay. Now, it does come with a book. My PayPal is PA Business Lady. I can't really type it in here, but it's pabusinesslady@gmail.com. Okay, don't spam me. Don't send me no spam. I'm talking to the scammers in here and the spammers. Don't send me no spam. pabusinesslady@gmail.com. Thank you very much for the donation. Now, this book does, I'm going to tell y'all about this deck. Okay? What's wonderful about this deck is that you learn astrology as you're learning about yourself. Okay? So you're like an astrologer in training while you're doing it. You can always further research the cards. But the book gives you a decent amount of information. Okay? But there's a certain order you have to do it in. So it's like you have to do the planets first. Okay, yeah. But there's different ways you can do it. So let me do mine. Okay. Now these is oracles. You see, nobody got knife wounds. There's nobody fighting. There's not no love affair going on or lost money or nothing. You don't see none of this. This is astrology, y'all. Astrology. And I'm allowed to do astrology. It's in my destiny. I was an astrologer in the past life. I'm supposed to be using what I learned from my past life in this life too. So some of y'all may not realize everything that you learned in your past life, you're supposed to add to what you're doing in this life. It doesn't mean you don't do what you did in your past life. You just got to add it to it. Your past life lessons is supposed to be a part of the guidance that you have in this life. For me, I have to do astrology because I didn't have much support. I didn't have community support in my past life. I was very much isolated. I was, people did not, I was growing up in a very traditional time, so people didn't accept me. And so I was just, all I did was like the basic 9-to-5 regular job. And people thought I was weird because of my beliefs, because of my non-traditional beliefs. So I really didn't get to share it with the world. So in this life, I'm supposed to share it with the world. Okay? I'm supposed to add it to. I'm supposed to use it. I really didn't get to use it for myself much in my past life because I was so hooked on the 9-to-5 life, even though I knew how to do it. I kept on putting it aside because I was just, too busy trying to pay bills and make money and stuff back in the 1700s. Okay. When I was a male, men being that make money energy. So I didn't get to really, um, there wasn't nobody I could turn to. I was just basically a work slave. So the creator wants me to use astrology for my support to be able to get the help that I need from the other side instead. Okay? All right. Um, this will tell you it. Your oracles will tell you your past life. Once you kind of have an idea of your zodiac and your gender of what you were in your last past life, you'll start to remember some things. Okay, your past life. You could do a past life reading actually on yourself, and then you'll start. They have past life reading decks. I have one over there. So and then you'll get all you got to do is like meditate on the images and see what you remember, see what images and flashes, or you can actually research the image that you see on the cards and find out and see what words come to you. So like for me, when I was looking at my time oracle deck with my past life, and I saw a city that had the Eiffel Tower, I was like, I was there. And I started to remember that I was at somebody's shop before that I knew what the Eiffel Tower was. So I started to remember that I used to go to like a fancy nightclub or something in Paris and France and in England. And there was somebody's shop I used to go to in England. I seen a glimpse of it, like a memory came back to me. And I see myself walking in these beads, and somebody in there has a shop. It's a psychic shop. And I was into being a psychic, but I kept not doing it because I was following the rules. I was following the rules of my husband and my second life as Beatrice, and one life as Beatrice. I was following the rules of my old-fashioned family when I was in the Ukraine, when I was a male. And so this life, the creator wants me to go to be off on my own, to decide for myself, to not be forced to follow traditions, to learn what it means to make my own rules. And that's what I'm doing. To control my own energy. I have people just coming from those past life trying to control my energy. And I'm like, no, you're not doing it in this life too. You did it in the past life. You're not doing it again. You're not doing it again. Okay. I met my cousin who was controlling my energy when I was Beatrice. He was doing the accounting in the family. So he thought he could control me with the money. And I met my ex-husband, my husband, when I was Beatrice too. He was controlling me too. I went to a psychic and she confirmed it. She said they were controlling and abusive to you. And I said, I knew it. I knew it. I said, I knew they was in my family in the past life. So I avoid the two guys in this life. I can't even talk to them without them trying to control my energy, y'all. It's crazy. It's like their soul remembered that they did it to me before. So I literally just avoid them in this life. All right, so I'm going to do me. I'm going to show y'all. So the planets. So this deck, okay, let's see what we get for planets. Now, of course, one thing I can tell you, whenever you're doing this type of reading, you're dealing with oracles, it's important to not be eating unhealthy. When you eat unhealthy, your emotions are controlled by the diet, unhealthy diet. So you may pull cards that you only pulled because your diet is crappy. So I highly recommend that you're like on a low-fat diet, or you've been fasting, or when you first wake up in the morning, or when you haven't overeaten, when you're trying to, do get into your karma energy, because karma can still be devil and earth and water energy. So you want to make sure you're not bidding and doing devil stuff when you're doing this, okay? When you're in the karma astrology card. So let's see what I get. There it is. Okay. Synchronicity for me, y'all. Synchronicity. Sacrifice. Confusion. Mm. Hmm. Yep, I've been feeling confused about Neptune could be getting into, that could be, I think, water energy. So we're going to look into that. I've been feeling confused about my family. Confused. Also, a little bit about my creative endeavors. I've been a little bit confused about that. So it came right on out. Let's see here. Because I think Neptune could be dealing with, that could still be, that could still get into water energy. Okay. I've been trying to figure out what creative manifestation I'm supposed to do today. And there's something, a resource I'm supposed to release. I've been like trying to decide what resources I shouldn't use anymore. And I felt a little bit confused about that. And then it was like I'm starting to have clarity. So let's see here. Y'all. All right. So it talks about, for me, it talks about, there it is. Yep. Fortune, wishes. I've been a little bit confused. Like, what should I wish for? I've been wondering, like, should I focus on this creative resources or something else? I wasn't quite sure today. It was like, kind of all over the place a little bit. Um, yeah, what will give me the peace that I really want? What resource? Yeah, this is about imagination, dream work, sacrifice. Also, I've been feeling like somebody in my life is like keeping me confused. And I said to them, I said, "Are you trying to confuse me, trying to give illusions?" And this came out. Yeah. And I did have me a glass of wine, y'all, but it wasn't no drunkenness or nothing like that. I've been thinking about somebody who has addictions. So I'm kind of confused about a particular person who has addictions in my life. And I'm like, you know, I'm kind of worried about what they're getting into. I can sense that they're into something. Okay. So that could be, because there's two people, or it could be somebody trying to somebody might be trying to cloud my vision. You know, it might be emotional manipulation. Somebody could be trying to emotionally manipulate me. It was funny. Somebody called me out of the clear blue sky. So somebody I know wanted me to party and turn up with them. And I said, hard pass. And I saw 111. So I guess they was trying to reach me or whatever. And mm-mm. So that basically is like saying, like, don't run away, like face my fears. Don't let people deceive me and pull me into hangman energy. So somebody could be trying to keep me stuck. See? Something could be trying to keep me stuck. That could be Neptune Pisces energy. And trying to keep me confused because they don't want me to move on, or they don't want me to take a leap, because Neptune Pisces energy can also be like the Joker, you know, going off and having fun and taking leaps. I was trying to decide whether I was going to go to karaoke tonight. I was thinking of it. I was thinking about going out to sing, and I wasn't sure about it. So that this card is saying I'm not sure of how I want to use my magicianship. I was thinking about going out to karaoke this weekend. Pisces can be singers as well. I'm not a Pisces, but it's trying to say that either I got to be careful what group I'm in. See, this could be like entourage energy. Somebody could be there fake trying to keep me stuck, or somebody might bring some drama, or somebody might try to make my ego messy, or it could be some social toxicity or something. So I guess I'm not going out, or I guess I am going to keep to myself and just do something creative because I don't got time for that. See, this is why it's important to do these readings so you can kind of know like what's going on around you. Somebody trying to play games. I sensed it earlier. I was like, I feel fakery. I actually said it, y'all. I said, I feel like I'm being manipulated. I literally said that to a family member. I said, I ain't got time for these petty games. I feel games. I guess I was right. Pisces can rule big games too. But somebody could be taking me as a joke. Or trying to make me take myself as a joke. And I ain't got time for that either. Y'all. Yeah. Okay. Why is that there? Ooh, child, I don't even want to look at that. Okay, so let's see what the signs, y'all. If y'all could connect with this, somebody want me to run away or something, because Pisces, when it's being tested, it could be like somebody wants you to be a coward. Somebody wants you to run somewhere when you don't need to be running somewhere. Somebody wants you to run and get yourself in a jam or some trap. Somebody want me to be in a trap situation. I don't got time for that. Okay? Somebody want me to run somewhere where my wish won't come true at. Because somebody's manipulating my energy. But now y'all see how I felt like I had to do a reading for myself? No, that could be for somebody in here too. Because we are a collective. So be careful who's trying to get you to turn up. Somebody might want you to sit and turn up and drink and be messy with your energy tonight. No. Or somebody trying to make you go and do something, be a hoe or something or whatever. I'm not saying that Pisces are hoes, but somebody could be trying to want you to exploit your sexuality. Somebody could be trying to make you want you to do that because they trying to make you feel like you're not attractive, or might want you insecure. So somebody could be doing that to me, but this could be for somebody in here as well. Man, they could get out of here. Or maybe there's some beauty care that you might be wanting to get and you're not sure if you want to do it. Or same with me. I was thinking about doing something with self-care, so maybe that's it. Okay, sometimes I let my guides pick the card. That was me channeling. I'll teach y'all that one day. Okay? One day I'll teach y'all how to channel the energy of your angel guides so they can guide you physically, as a medium. Yeah, see, I said wish, y'all. Look what came out. Confirmation. Aquarius, psychic, reader, wish, working with tarots. So it's saying that if you work with your psychic stuff today, you could discover something. So I could discover something as well. Experimenting with a resource, being innovative. So if you're not sure about what you want to create, you want to experiment. That's what it's saying. Aquarius are innovative people. Genius to experiment with. Some of y'all may tap into, and I might tap into a genius power through just experimenting with something. Aquarius. Okay? That's a synchronicity. I heard Aquarius earlier. I heard that word. Like I heard somebody say it from the other side. And then now that I think about it, the person who left me a message is an Aquarius. So there's something to block my blessing. Some of y'all might got somebody who's trying to block this energy. Because I got somebody trying to block my Aquarius energy. Somebody's trying to block me from a wish. I ain't got time for that. Somebody said me. Okay. Y'all see how there's like nothing wicked, nothing dark about it? Okay. So, water bearer. Okay, ideas for humanity. Friends, hopes, wishes. Genius, rebellious, desire for unrestricted freedom. Y'all, look, it came out. It says unrestricted freedom. So just be careful where you go when you get free. Be careful of going to the wrong crowd, going to the wrong group. Okay, go somewhere that's not low vibrational. So it said, when I pulled that card, it said outlet, desire to change the world, make it better for humanity. So I'm supposed to be trying to make the world better. Somebody in here should be trying to make the world better for humanity. Aquarius energy would kind of be sort of like Elon Musk. Okay. Madam C.J. Walker. You know, because she made beauty products, but the innovative energy, Aquarius energy, would still be like Elon Musk. So just giving y'all an example. Okay. This is ankles and wrists. So anything that makes you use your wrist. Okay. Aquarius also can be people who are Aquarius, like Pisces, can be cooks. So maybe cooking, something you can stir. I don't know if any of you are into baking, using your wrist. Okay. Also, like certain Egyptian dances where you're going like that. Bangles, bracelets, ballet, like with your feet, with your ankles. So I'm gonna get me some bracelets. I knew it. I felt like I need to wear bracelets. I literally said that to my family. I said I don't know why I feel like I'm in alignment when I wear bracelets. So obviously the creator wanted me to tap into Aquarius energy. That's interesting because I don't really see it. Like, when I look at my chart, I don't see it like, and I guess it might be coming in some way. I'm going to have to look at my chart again. I think, yeah, it might be a conjunction of mine or something. It could be a conjunction, a very special conjunction. So I'm going to have to look into that. Yeah, it's for somebody in here too. Yeah. Somebody could be trying to make you shake, somebody could be trying to shake you. Aquarius can be people that shake things up, but when somebody's shaking Aquarius up, they will shake up the room in a low vibrational way. So Aquarius is kind of like the celebration energy, like birthday party and things like that. So what would you do if it was your birthday? What fun things you would do if it was your birthday? Because you had Pisces and Aquarius coming out here. That's like birthday, childhood energy. Um, it's about also breaking the rules, doing it your way, changing it in a way. Uh, some of y'all may have somebody trying to control a specific cycle that you're in, maybe trying to keep you in some sort of toxic loop, so to keep you stuck in hangman energy. So just be careful of who you're socializing with, whose messages you answer. Yeah. Somebody might leave you a voice message or text message or something here. Yeah. So bracelets here. Now we have Pisces. Um, I know Pisces tend to also have a very rule the here too. I don't know if people realize that. Also with literary art, I don't know if some of y'all been thinking about painting or literature, but the creators say do it your way because Aquarius energy is here. It could be like messy art, like stream of consciousness where you just go with the flow. You just let your hand go or whatever. It's not really planned creation. It's not planned creation. You're just kind of going with the flow. Okay, it's about intuitive creating, intuitive creation, creating in flow state. Not really knowing what you're going to do next. You're just kind of like feeling your way through. It could be like automatic writing or automatic creation, but it's also dreamy because this is like genie energy. All right, so all right. Oh, I see somebody's affected by the Pisces energy. I'm sorry. Yeah, we all in that energy right now, and I ain't picking on you. I know exactly how you feel. I started. I was crying yesterday about my mom. I was in here crying, and just like then I was crying and upset. I was happy and mad at the same time. Happy, mad, sad, going in cycles yesterday. I'm sorry to hear that. I was just like, for me, it was bittersweet tears about my mom and my parents yesterday. And I was just like, woo. Participating in art activities, Ebony, is going to help you to find a healthy way to let those emotions out. Like for me, I'm sitting up tonight and I'm actually just doing some random abstract art. So let me show y'all. I was feeling I was feeling this Pisces moon real strongly the other day coming through. I thought I was just going just like, I thought I was going to have to run to therapy, y'all. I was ready to call a therapist like, woo, child, my emotions. I was breaking down. I broke down like 3-4 times in here a couple days ago. Um, so it's okay to feel that way. You're going to feel that way right now. You're going to be reflecting. You're going to be like, pissed off at some people how they did you when you was a kid. You're going to be in that energy. You just got to find a way to, um, you know, kind of peacefully work through it. So let me show y'all. When I started feeling the Pisces moon, I started doing some like random art. I don't even know what this stuff is, but this is something I randomly did. I randomly did this art piece. Okay, so y'all can look at it either direction. All right, it was for the art class I was in. We had to do abstracts. Okay, we had to do abstracts. So here's some other abstracts that I did. I did this one too. These are four different abstracts, four different ones. So you can look at them at either way you want to look at them. This is how I was feeling over here. I was feeling this one right here. I was feeling like almost like I'm like it's like I got value, but I'm like trapped. See how I'm trapped? I felt that's how I was feeling like money just locked away. Like I can't grow beyond this. I felt like I was in prison. This one I actually just went right here. I just went, and then it's like the purple. I felt like it was like I felt like I knew I was trapped too. Like inside, I was wise. I was wise about my value, but it's like I just couldn't get out. And then after I did this, I actually realized that I didn't want to feel trapped anymore. So I told my family members I'm sick of feeling like I'm trapped in a life, you know, my value is not being allowed the sun. Like this is not exactly the sun. It's like like a coral. It's like I feel like I'm just trapped in some like coral in the ocean, and I just want to be able to get out. You know how coral, like when coral gets out the ocean, it's like kicked out the ocean. It's not. It's just stuck down there. So that's how I kind of felt, like the pinkish orange, and this one right here, when I did this one, oh, thank you, y'all. I could feel like there was darkness coming in me, even though right here, I was feeling like I was feeling like there was peace, but then I could felt like there was some sort of threat coming to me. And what's funny is I created this a couple days right before my angel number said you're protected. So this part, this is like kind of like an omen. Okay, that something was going to happen. And I ended up feeling real sick like 2 days after I did this drawing. I felt like suddenly I was running a fever, y'all, no lie. And this was kind of I consider this random darkness coming through out of nowhere. I didn't even try to do that on purpose. It was just like intuition. I could feel that it was an omen that I was going to actually get sick, that some sort of darkness was going to come, and 2 days later I got sick, y'all. No lie. Now this one I did too. This one right here. This one. So these are abstracts. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. So I took a watercolor abstract class over the last 2 weeks. Now the class that I took today is landscape watercolor abstracts, and I'm gonna be trying that out tonight. But they're supposed to be vignettes, so they're not supposed to be defined. They're supposed to be very dreamy, very dreamy. So I'm gonna do me some watercolor vignettes tonight. I'm gonna sit up tonight. From now on, when I get insomnia, y'all, I'm gonna just go ahead and get my paintbrush out. You can create some wonderful work when you have insomnia. No lie, just give it a try one day. Like when you're suffering from insomnia, just do straight up stream of consciousness artwork. You'll find that you're like tapping into some higher type of artistic power. My one of my best poems I ever wrote was written 2 a.m. in the morning when I was extremely tired. And that poem has been published multiple times. It was selected for a festival. And I literally wrote it almost 90% done on the first draft. And I didn't have no training in writing at the time. And the poem is still, 15 years later, that poem is still excellent. It's timeless. But I remember like getting up out of my bed like I can't sleep. I can't take it no more. It was 2 a.m. in the morning. I sat down on my desk and I said, where would I go if I needed peace? What would I do for peace? Maybe I could sleep. And I saw myself going fishing. I saw this vision of the woods. The creator gave me a vision 2 a.m. in the morning of me looking at the woods. And I just wrote down exactly, you know, what I would do if I went fishing at the spot that I used to fish in. What would I wear? You know, why did I choose this spot? I just was like talking to myself. I was having a conversation with myself. And after I wrote that poem, I was able to go to sleep. And that was the first poem that I ever got major recognition for. So, and also when you do psychic readings at night too, woo, your intuition be off the chain. I don't know if some of y'all are into fashion, but Pisces and Aquarius definitely. Aquarius can be fashion people. So I don't know if any of y'all into fashion design. If you're thinking about having a makeover or something, or if you're thinking of updating your wardrobe or something of that nature, or if you're thinking about attending a party, maybe some of y'all may thinking about throwing a party or going to a party. You might be not sure if you want to go. Aquarius and Pisces are party people. Normally. Okay, so let's go to the houses, y'all. Let's see what we got here. Okay, wait a minute. I did. Y'all, why the heck is so many cards here? Did I do that? Oh, no. Okay, let's do the houses. Here we go. Hi, everybody. I heard sewing earlier. I guess that was for you. I swear I'm not lying. When I was on this channel earlier and I was getting intuitive messages, I heard sewing. Y'all, I was like, what the sewing's for? That's weird. I get random words come through. It's like if you're thinking of something, if y'all are thinking of things, words from your brains, the word will come to my brain. I can't explain. I think it's my rising sign because I have an air rising sign. So when you have an air rising sign, you can pick up people's words and things they saying in their mind and random phrases and stuff. Like telepathy. I heard sewing earlier. No lie. This is right before I got on the channel. I saw fashion design. And then when I was talking on the channel earlier, I heard sewing. And I'm like, why am I hearing this? Like, I guess it was for somebody. I guess it was for you. Your consciousness might have came through to me. Because of my placement with certain energy, with certain zodiacs, the consciousness pours into me. As an oracle, it just pours in. It's like I'm just a bowl sitting here. You know, like a like vegetable soup. I'm like vegetable soup. Like just random stuff be just coming into my head. It's just so weird. I've gotten used to it now though. I be hearing like random stuff like dark, like horses, sewing machine. I be hearing y'all. Sometimes I'll just hear a whole phrase like, if you jump, then you'll jump like this, and then don't do like. I'll be like, oh my goodness! If people knew that my mind is like a typewriter, they would probably think I'm insane. I've gotten used to it, hearing like little fleeting things. I even heard my husband a few times. I said, I replied to something he said in his mind. And he said, I didn't say that. And I said, yes, you did. And he looked at me real funny, like, how did I know he said that? He said it in his mind, but it like came through my head. Yes, it's crazy. Um, Okay, yeah, seventh house. Seventh. All right. Relationships, y'all. Diplomatic, get a fair deal. Some of y'all might have some offer coming in. Okay. Some of y'all might have been, that means some money. Somebody's supposed to get some money because Pisces is out and 7 is out. So make sure that you're not selling yourself short. Only thing with this book, you got to make sure that you mark the houses because see how it's a gray print. So I would put it like a little sticky tab here. I would put a little sticky note so you know where the houses are in the book. Y'all, I heard pizza earlier. Look, pizza's out. Somebody having pizza. Somebody was thinking about having pizza. Because I swear I heard pizza earlier. That's a synchronicity. Or somebody was thinking about ordering pizza. All right, so this is about commitment, y'all. This is about your love life. Y'all, why did I say air and look what came out? Libra energy. I told y'all I got the word air. I got telepathy in air. And look, 7th house is ruled by Libra. It says Libra. The 7th house is ruled by the planet Venus and the sign Libra. I literally got that right before I opened the book. Why did I hear air and Libra? So I must have got that for you. I was telling y'all, come through. Holy Spirit is getting these downloads is coming in. That's why y'all have to learn how to stay hungry, y'all. Like if you want your intuition to be like mine's, like it been on during this video, let your stomach stay a little hungry. Don't ever fill your cup. Your stomach is like a cup. Once that cup is full, the creator can't put no more on you. No lie. Why do you think a lot of artists will create almost starving? It's the same thing with your psychic powers. Like if you stop eating, if you don't eat fat, like say you don't eat no high fat, you don't eat fat after lunchtime. You might only get eat 5 grams of fat after lunch. Man, I'm telling you no lie. You don't have no granulated sugar. You only have like honey and fruit as your sweet stuff. Woo! All right, Libra in the house. It's Libra energy right now. What's up, Libra? I'm Libra rising. Where my Libra? Libra. I'm a Libra rising in the house. It's Libra time right now. So if you're a Libra, you should be practicing your telepathy right now. Quieting your mind to see what comes through. Quieting. If you have a significant Libra placement, you need to do what I call mind swiping. Swipe your mind clean several times a day. Imagine that you're using that Mr. Clean sponge and you're just sponged your mind. And then just sit in silence and see what comes through to you. Because what the problem with, I go through the same thing. If you're in a toxic love life, your air energy will be blocked. I'm just saying, y'all. If you start cursing and hollering, if you have any type of throat chakra fights, your Libra energy will be blocked. No lie. So, because air energy, especially Libra, reads like isolation, nun energy, priest energy. So the more you avoid stress, you have to avoid stress. I highly recommend that if you are trying to harness your Libra energy, you try to get you some tea that's for stress relieving tea. Or you use Puka Clarity tea. Okay, it's a pink. It comes in a pink pack. All right, you need to get also Blue Genius tea. You can get this tea off of Amazon. It's a Genius tea or Puka Clarity tea. You need Indian tea. Indian. If you want to harness the energy of Pisces and especially Libra, uh you need like mushroom and Indian tea. So you want to get you a mushroom vitamin. Whenever my air energy feels blocked, I already know I probably need to eat some mushroom and I need to eat some beets. If I don't eat that, then I will literally smoke my CBD. So you might want to get you some CBD. I don't know if y'all like hemp flower, but you want to smoke herbs. That's what the old wise men in the Native American tribes used to smoke. That's why they were so wise. They were quiet. They didn't talk a lot. And they smoked their CBD, their peace pipes. So it's all up to you, okay? One thing that really helps with the Libra energy, and most people think that it's not for Libra, sage. Sage, y'all. I'm telling you no lie. I'm going to tell you what else helps Libra energy a lot. Frankincense. Frankincense and sage. All right. If you're feeling, now the thing about it, if you're feeling really blocked with your air energy, you need to actually suffocate your mind with sage. What I do is I will literally smoke out this room. This room will be so thick with sage smoke. Not just like that. I will literally burn a lot to the point where you can cut it with a knife. Okay? That's how thick the smoke will be, that thick. That way I know when I go in there that my brain is definitely going to be filled with it. Or, you know what I do? I do like the Indian people used to do. The empresses would do. They would actually go under a blanket. Okay? They hold a blanket, like a shawl over the woman. And the incense would be down there. And she would just, as she bows and says thank you, she'd breathe in and bow to God and breathe in. So I don't know if y'all know this, but you can even burn incense for your vagina. Okay? So you can actually take lavender, water, incense for water signs, and for Taurus, and you can stand with those incense burning underneath you with your vagina, your bare vagina over that incense smoke. And your vagina will get purification spiritually. In the movie The Kama Sutra, the lady was doing that, and that's how they used to do it. The scent is actually clarifying. I don't know why people don't realize that incense is literally the same stuff we wash up with. It's no different. Okay, you're just washing up with smoke. You're just washing up with smoke. So you can literally wash up your vagina, like double wash it using incense smoke. So you can wash your vagina regularly in the shower and then take incense smoke and burn it right near your vagina and fill up your area with the smoke. Okay, and then you can say a prayer like protection of my vagina, my genitals, or whatever. There's even a sense you can burn for fertility. Okay. Yeah. Somebody said they had a JJ steamer. Right. Um you can actually get a mist too. You can get a some water with some lavender mist. Okay. And some eucalyptus mist and just mist your vagina with it like 2, 3 times a day. I think if you're having a very active sex life, you should be misting your vagina through the day to detox any spiritual toxins, parasites that you're getting from sleeping with someone that you don't even know that you're getting from them. So you could do that. Like instead, like let's say you don't got time to wash up and you just got busy with somebody. You could be like, I'm gonna go ahead and spray this mist, like, for protection or whatever. You could do that. Also, if you're feeling psychically blocked, you have to actually do third eye exercises. So if you feel like you're not remembering your dreams, your intuition is very blocked. You're creatively blocked. Your telepathy is not working. You need to work on your third eye. Um, you might also need to work do a tree pose. You might need to do some grounding. You might need to work on your Taurus energy, because Taurus energy is one of the most elite old psychic type of energy. So there could be um your energy is just not grounded. So I would do the tree pose. I would do the tree pose. I would literally take some sage ashes and I would rub the ash on my third eye. Okay? Before I go to sleep for protection. Because you might be getting demonic energy in your third eye while you sleep, on your crown chakra too. So that's why you're blocked. So I would smoke all around my bed. I would smoke the sage around my bed. I would say a prayer or a blessing. I would wash my face with eucalyptus and mint. And then I would put like a sage ash on my third eye before I go to sleep. Okay? Now I can tell you, if sometimes your eyeballs are actually demonic contaminated. I told y'all when a demon put an eye patch on me. Remember I told y'all a demon possessed this part of my body for a moment and it put a piece of his skin. It was trying to block some of my third eye. I could see his skin. And I had to do a lot of clearing of my eye to get the dimensional skin tag of it off of my damn eyeball. So if you're really blocked, your air energy really blocked, I'll say literally take ice cold, like sea salt water, not so salty so your eyes don't burn, and literally clean your eyes out like several times a day. Like freeze your third eye, freeze it out. You could have something in there that's blocking it, something toxic. Okay? So you can freeze it out. Okay? You never hear the saying the devil and the devil and the people in hell want ice water. All right, you're setting them free. If it's demonic energy in there, you're like, okay, free, get on out. So so you could take ice cubes or some cucumber water, frozen cucumber water, and cleanse. Okay? Cleanse it out. You can actually get you some saline eye cleansing solution, and you can actually add some cucumber, you know, a little bit of cucumber, and you don't want to put it in your eye, but you darn sure. Now I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I take ice cold water and I go right into the eyeball, cause I be like, I want nah, I'm blocked. I don't play. So if I feel blocked, I'll literally go. I don't even care if it get my eye. Like I literally want some of the ice cold water to go into my eye. And I freeze every morning. I freeze this part of my face out. It be like ice cold. That's how much cold water I be putting on. I be like, shoo, shoo, shoo. I will shock my third eye woke. I will shock it clean. I will shock these eyeballs clean. It's it's all up to you. Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah. Yeah, but even though you're celibate, because I don't have sex either, even if you're celibate, that don't mean you're not having sex. You do know you can still be having sex on the other side. Somebody can still be having sex with your spirit when you go to sleep. I know a woman who don't have sex. She don't have sex with her husband, but she keeps having a demon taking advantage of her in her sleep, playing with her and stuff. Do y'all know when y'all feel randomly stimulated, that's a demon doing that. When you're sitting there and all of a sudden you're like, ooh, like why I feel like my nipples getting hard, or why I feel like something teasing me. That's demonic energy, y'all. It's trying to force you to make your play with yourself. It's trying to tempt you to masturbate. This is why, y'all, when you wear brassieres, you're supposed to wear cotton brassieres. When you wear nylon brassieres, the devil can use the nylon to stimulate your breasts, to tempt you to play with yourself. So that's why it's important to wear very supportive, firm, padded cotton bras, or you need to wear stuff that's very loose. See, look, you need to wear stuff where it's not touching your breast, like loose. That's not real thready. It's important to wear like lightweight stuff. That's why the empresses wore very lightweight stuff, so she would not be getting stimulated by some random demonic air, wind blowing. These demons can control the air. Don't be fooled. They can control the wind. So if they blow the wind like, ooh, right near your nipples, they're doing that on purpose. They're trying to get you to play with yourself. I figured it out one day. I was like, how come a random wind will literally just blow near my breast? And I said, something's trying to tempt me. And I'm not with them games. So, also, you do know you want to also try to avoid playing with yourself during, like, when you're like very sad. You don't want to play with yourself at that time, because you might push it too hard. You might be tempted to have the ultimate release because you're depressed. The monitoring spirits, they want you to play with yourself while you're sad. They know they can really feast on that energy. You will release a lot because you're sad. So that's why during the water and fire season coming back to back like that, you want to make sure that you're being careful of temptation. You're not tempted to have secret sexual activity giving you a release only to block you from a wish. The more you get closer to manifesting a wish, the worse the sexual temptation will get. This is why some people will go up into the mountains, like the one dude, I think Master Surrey did it, and stay in the mountain until they have manifested their wish. They'll get away from civilization, away from where there's a lot of human consciousness at. They'll get away from that so that they don't have temptations coming on stronger and stronger and stronger the more they're manifesting their wish. And some of y'all, when you're at the peak time of your ability to manifest your wish, that's when the temptation will come. And let me tell y'all, almost every single time you feel sexual temptation, it's because there's somebody thinking of you while they're planning to play with themselves or while they're having sex. Because I can remember never having sexual temptations or sexual temptation thoughts, anything like that, until I actually started having sex. When I wasn't having sex, that I didn't feel none of that. So that literally tells me that when you have sex, people are sending those demons to you. Okay? People that you have sex with, they're sending those lust spirits. When they're thinking, when they're playing with themselves, they're going through their little memory bank of the finest women they had, and they're using those women for their sexual fantasies. You know, some men don't use porn. They use memories of women. Some women don't use porn. They use memories of men. And when they're using those memories, they're literally pulling a vibrational version of you onto the astral plane, and they're playing and they're having sex with you. And then that vibration comes back to you, and you're like, woo, child, I got stimulated. You basically got violated by somebody you used to have sex with. They violated you spiritually. I know somebody who keeps doing that to me, and I actually confronted them, and they actually admitted it. So that's how I know I'm not delusional. I literally went to somebody and said, are you doing something with my pictures or something? Are you like playing with yourself while thinking about me and stuff like that? And they kind of grinned and laughed. I said, so you're doing that? And they were like, yeah, whatever. And they just kind of like, because they're a narcissist, so they didn't care. They didn't care. And I said, please stop disrespecting me like that. And then another psychic actually picked them up and their intuition that they were doing it. Like right before I told the psychic, the psychic said, there's a male you were dealing with. They're the one doing that to you. And I said, hey, I didn't tell her that. I said, I literally just talked to that male and he admitted to it. So y'all, I can tell you right now, there's people going to be playing with body parts a lot come right now through Aries season. Some people are going to be like, F it. I can't manifest something. I need to get rid of this energy somehow. And they just going to play with themselves to death. There's going to be people stroking up a storm all the way down through March. on truth. And there's going to be people that want you to give them head. I'm just saying, y'all. This man right now sitting up there thinking about people and saying, ooh, somebody give me head. You know, thinking about having threesomes and stuff because of the Pisces going into that Aries energy. People thinking, I'm not saying Pisces are into that, but by being Pisces so close to the sexual, sexy, sex energy, people might be like sex entourage in it, you know, like menage a trois in it, you know. So it is. And people might be like, who your baby daddy? That might be both of our baby daddy because they slept with the same dude, like situations like that. And then they find out come April they pregnant. Oh, I'm pregnant. You pregnant? We pregnant by the same dude. that type of stuff. Yep. Body hopping, right? People body hopping. People get too lonely, too thirsty for it. Come, you know, February, March, they start body hopping. Hopping. I got to get this energy out one way. I need a release. That last release didn't work. I need another and a sister and a brother. Trying to call the brother, it was a Gucci undercover. Y'all ever hear that saying? Another and a sister and a brother tried to call another and it was a Hoochie undercover. I think that's how that funny phrase go. But yeah. There's gonna be a lot of men smashing booties because Pisces with their curvy body, and the Aquarius, the hips don't lie with the Aquarius, and the Libra energy coming through, the hips don't lie. So the guys that's in that low vibrational Aries energy, they're gonna be like, I'm trying to smash I'm trying to smash some A and dash. That's what's gonna do. A lot of smashing and dashing. And then there's gonna be women having positive pregnancy tests come May. Yeah, I think it was Slick Rick. Yeah. They getting some of y'all exes, they getting frustrated. They like, I gotta get me some, I gotta do some smashing. I gotta get this energy out. Cause they don't want to do nothing creative. I can tell you right now, men and women who like multiple partners, they're creatively blocked. They can't create nothing. So they all backed up with energy. They're living in fear. People who have multiple partners all the time, they're living in fear of the work that they want to do, but they're afraid of failing. They might want to go dancing, but they like, nah, they might want to be a dancer, but they're like, nah, I'm not going to dance. I'm just going to dance in the bedroom. They might want to be a famous painter, but they're like, nah, I'm cool. I'm going to just go ahead and smash and dash. So it's, anytime somebody say they got 3, 4, 5 girlfriends, I say, ooh, you blocked from God. You ain't getting no ideas. You probably cheating to get money. Hi, everybody. I'm back. So I just want to help that person who mentioned about air and Libra. Um, if you have air significant air placement and you feel, oh, you blocked from God. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm gonna do another video talking about air energy, okay? Because some of y'all want to know why y'all be blocked with y'all air energy. I'm coming downstairs, Eric. About that, y'all. So if you want to send a donation, you can send it to my Cash App at money sign Coach V Hunter. I'm going to do another video talking to y'all about the air energy because I know some of y'all that y'all want to really tap into it. Okay, there's two things you got to think about: throat chakra and the sacral. This phone is trash. I need a new charger.